absolutely no evidence that cannabis is any worse
Well, I
than
suppose
alcohol.
it depends
So why
what
is
you
it
mean
illegal
by...
and cannabis
Well, I'm
and
trying to
cigarettes
answer,
and
but as soon as
alcohol?
I answer, you're going to interrupt me and say, no, it's not,
Well,
no,
you keep
it's
saying
not,
that's
no, it's
untrue,
not.
but then explain why.
Well, I keep trying to when you keep interrupting.
Well,
Now I'm
on
going to
then.
explain now. So don't interrupt. Look, the sole purpose for smoking pot or eating a pot brownie is to get high. That is not true with alcohol.
Yes,
Whoa! Are you really trying to make the argument that people don't drink alcohol to get drunk? That is literally the entire point of its creation. Listen to how she fights back.
Enjoy, well, maybe you're a 14-year-old. They're going to keg parties still.
Everybody drinks alcohol to get slightly higher than when they start drinking it, surely. What's the point of drinking alcohol?
Absolutely. I have done TV after drinks. I bet you
You
have
have?
too.
Someone as quote-unquote well-respected as Ann Coulter, if I'm even saying that right, gets drunk on live TV and attempts to make the claim that people don't abuse alcohol and strictly abuse marijuana?
Are you
I'm
intoxicated
drunk
now?
right now.
That would explain a lot of things. Have you ever smoked pot?
Wait, would you please let me finish one sentence, Piers Morgan?
You're rambling.
People enjoy wine. They drink wine for a purpose. They will buy $800 bottles of wine. Perhaps you have a warm feeling. It does not. You can tell if somebody's been smoking pot.
It's also just as clear when someone is drunk and or is drinking alcohol.
Their eyes are red, they giggle at everything, and by the way, they're incapable of carrying on the normal functions of life.
Have you ever smoked pot?
No, I haven't.
Never in your life?
Almost none of my friends have because they're athletes.
So how?
Many athletes smoke marijuana. Look at Michael Phelps, goddammit. Is she making the argument that her athlete friends drink instead of consume marijuana? That's the insinuation.
How do you know what it does?
Because I'm around potheads. Many of my best friends are potheads.
How many?
If many of your best friends are potheads, wouldn't you understand that quote-unquote potheads function much higher than alcoholics?
And in fact, a lot of them, well, look, potheads can still get their pot. They're probably self-medicating. But the more people who take it, and if it is made legal, vastly more people will take it. And it will be a disaster for commerce.
Why? Why for commerce?
Because potheads are incapable of following simple instructions and getting a job done.
Potheads are far more productive than alcoholics. Shouldn't you know that if some of your quote-unquote best friends are potheads?
I used to carry around as my sole argument against pot legalization.
But it's like saying alcoholics
as I was saying,
have a drain on the economy.
To pick up in the middle of the sentence I was just on before you
what do you mean by
interrupted me,
pothead?
Was when I moved to a new place in California and there was a pool and the pool guy didn't, I come back and it's 4 feet down and it's covered with green mold and I called him up. He was a pothead. Oh, I was there that day. So I took 3 pictures and henceforth that was my argument. I don't happen to have my iPhone
Let me try and stop the stream of consciousness.
You can't get anything done with a pothead. What we need to do is encourage people.
What do you mean by a pothead?
Everyone knows what a pothead is.
What does it mean?
It's not smoking pot one time.
So how much are you assuming a pothead takes?
Enough so that it can be made fun of on TV by Brad Pitt in this movie.
So like a heavy drinker or a heavy smoker?
No, heavy smokers work all night and then die young, saving the Social Security system money.
Oh my God, is she seriously advocating people to die young because they smoke cigarettes? How much more cold can she get? Let's see.
We for commercial purposes, for the purposes of the good of the country, we ought to encourage Americans to smoke like mad. They'd be incredibly productive, and then they'd die young and not have long, lingering deaths.
Wow. I seriously think I've heard it all at this point.
Potheads, no, I'm going to be paying for their food, housing, now for their health care, apparently, because they can't perform any useful jobs. Can you imagine if,
the vast majority of people that take marijuana on a recreational basis are not, by your definition, potheads.
The point is,
in the same way that most people who drink alcohol are not alcoholics or heavy drinkers with a problem.
Once the cat is out of the bag, you can't put it back in. That was the problem.
Yeah, but the issue is not that.
Again, to pick up where I was in the middle of my sentence, but during Prohibition...
The issue is not that, is it? The issue
is
why do we treat
every alcohol-related disease, cirrhosis of the liver, accidents as a result of alcohol went down precipitously. It will go up. We will have this is how many potheads we have when it's illegal. I think that's just about enough.
Let me answer you. Nobody has ever overdosed on cannabis. Did you know that?
So what? They can't perform daily functions.
Yeah, says the one who claims to be drunk on TV, making one of the most incompetent arguments the world has ever heard.
They're going to be on my tax bill.
But you accept that people die of smoking. You accept that people can overdose on too much alcohol.
Well, but everybody dies eventually.
Do you all realize how much of an idiot this woman is?
That's your answer.
No, but to say people die of smoking, what is considered a smoking death? Is any heart attack is considered a smoking death?
The point is that the argument is that alcohol...
That's a true fact, by the way.
That heavy consumption
someone
of
who has
alcohol,
never smoked will be considered a smoking
heavy
death.
consumption of alcohol or heavy consumption of cigarettes is more dangerous to your health.
No, it isn't. Alcohol is good for you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Name one way in which alcohol is good for you. Alcohol leads to impaired judgment, vision, speech, motor skills, etc. It can lead to vomiting and alcohol poisoning. It increases violence and decreases productivity. It increases family issues. It can lead to liver disease, high blood pressure, stroke, heart disease, nerve damage, brain damage, and cancer of the mouth and throat. Nearly 88,000 people die from alcohol in the U.S. yearly, which makes alcohol the fourth leading cause of death in the United States. Alcohol-related problems cost the United States almost $250 billion. Are you seriously trying to make the argument that alcohol is good for you and marijuana is bad for you?
You take out the category. Have you been reading the Science Times? It's study after study. Alcohol is good for you. You should have a glass a day. Or two.
We'll have a glass after the show, and we'll test your theory.
Or two. No, it's true. Alcohol is good for you. Pot is not good for you, and in fact, it is very cancerous. Now they're getting these young kids coming in, having heart attacks at very young ages, and it's because they're potheads.
To our current knowledge about cannabis, it has not caused a single death in any which way. Consuming marijuana has currently no serious effects to our current scientific knowledge.
And by the way, at least they'll save me money if they just go ahead and die, but they rarely just go ahead and die.
How humane of you.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I genuinely hate to have to cut someone up so much like that, but I have never heard something so stupid. It baffles my mind how little this person knows about the topic at hand. And she goes on there and tries to sound like she's a know-it-all on the topic. It's fucking bullshit. If you liked this video, please subscribe. I'll have more like this. I'll have more with better quality in the future, but I'm just recording off my Mac because I saw this today and it genuinely made me sick, so I wanted to share this to you. Thank you for watching, and again, please subscribe if you liked it. Thank you.